Find murderers drive a Renault Espace.
Did he?
Fred West drove a Renault Espace. Harold Shipman drove a Renault Espace. Peter Sutcliffe drove a Renault 16.
This is a Top Gear top tip. If you're a policeman and there's been a murder in your area, simply arrest anyone who has a Renault. Small word of advice, if I may. Have no opinions about the looks of the lineswomen. It's just a little tip I can give you, because
thank you.
Otherwise you'll find yourself sacked. Advantages are huge, because if you get rid of magpies, you have more songbirds, so the air sounds nicer. You know, you've got tits and... Why did I say tits? So there we are, Top Gear top tip. Kill all magpies, and kill them now! Are there any girls here?
Well...
Good. Don't ever faint in Holland. That would be my Top Gear top tip for them. There's the grid girl. Oh, she's got a bit wobbly, and she's fainted. Ooh, you make... Oh, put your hand on her bottom. That's the ticket. That's what he's done. Now let's hear what the driver's got to say.
Check my auto. Vol mijn auto. Vol. Wow. Is mijn auto okay?
My father lives in the Virgin Islands, in the US Virgin. I got a licence there that meant I could drive in America and England for a year.
So there's a top tip for anybody who's finding it a struggle to get a driving licence here. Pop over there.
Is that the premiums for 17-year-old girls are half what they are for 17-year-old boys.
Well, there's a Top Gear top tip right there. If you're a 17-year-old boy, you need car insurance, slice your penis off.
I would have done.
I did.
Very important Top Gear top tip. If you're on your way to hospital, in labour, and you're in a Kia, for God's sake, get out. That speed, an M3 is more economical than a Prius. See, what I'm saying is, it isn't what you drive that matters, it's how you drive it. That is everything. Much better, don't change the car, change your driving style. I remind you of Paris Hilton.
You're the two sides of the same coin.
Well, I don't put pictures of myself naked on the internet. That's one thing I don't do. Here's a tip, Paris, if you're watching, have sex without a camera. The top 5 worst cars I've ever driven, Volkswagen Golf GT, has fallen downstairs while wearing leg calipers. Honestly, just work harder and buy the Golf GTi. There's a Top Gear top tip. How do you design it from not the ground up? If you start from the top, you might start here and then it would be too low, you'd never get it in. If you're designing a car, here's a tip. Always start from the bottom.
Confident of winning this competition. It's just... if you see what there's coming, run. They are absolutely awful.
Are they worthless? Top Gear top tip, avoid. 29,000 for a V8 muscle car. It's just such good value. Remarkable. So really, we've got another Top Gear top tip. If you want a Cadillac, buy a Vauxhall. The time is 1:29 points. Top Gear top tip. If you want a slow car that looks like a Golf, get a Golf. With a Top Gear top tip, OK? Yes, you can buy a supercar for less than £10,000, but for the love of God, don't. I do have 2 Top Gear top tips for you tonight. One, yes, you can buy rather than rent, and 2, don't go to America. Anyway, a Top Gear top tip there. If you want the best car in the class, you buy the BMW 3 Series. If you want to be perceived as a human being, get one of those. Focus, which is coming along in...
About 4 months.
4 months' time. So what we're saying is if you're looking for a sensible family hatchback, get down to the Ford dealership and buy a Focus now before Ford ruin it.
I've taken my wipers up and it's raining. Oh! Oh. Here's a tip. If you've got a Ferrari 612, don't take your wipers up because you're going to break them. You see, in a morning when it's cold, and it is very cold this morning, fuel is more dense than it is on a hot afternoon, so you're getting a little bit more for your money. My head was dislodged from the spine, and really we've ended up with a Top Gear top tip. If you are a lorryist and you are going to have an accident, there's a choice of something to hit, avoid anything with bricks in it. The winner, with an incredible 5 miles to the gallon, is the Audi R8. So here's a Top Gear top tip. If you've been affected by the fuel crisis, this is the supercar to buy.